Welcome to my little book club. My name's Diana, and I can't wait to talk about books with you all. Hey everybody, just wanted to say hi. I'm going to take just a few moments to go through all the books I read in December. I started with The Christmas Sisters, which I actually started this one in November, but I didn't get to finish it till December, so it's my December reads. Super cute story. It's about these three sisters who lost their parents to an avalanche when they were little, and they went to live with their parents' best friends. And there's some bitter feelings that they deal with, so, it kind of tears at their relationship a little bit. And the story is coming back together, and life throws these curveballs at the sisters, which make them have to rely on each other. And there's just a lot of growth in their relationship and a lot of growth with each other and their adopted parents. And it was just a really cute story. So I know Christmas season has passed, but maybe get it for next year if you haven't read it yet. Super cute. Highly recommend this one. The next book I read, I don't have the copy of the book here because I lent it to my besties, but it was The Similars by Rebecca Hanover, and it's the story of these clones. There's 6 clones who were cloned illegally. This is during a time that there is cloning, and cloning is allowed, but there's a lot of rules that need to be followed, and this particular scientist broke the rules and cloned 6 people, and then he had them off on a secret island. He didn't tell anybody who he cloned, who they were, so nobody knew who had a clone and who didn't. And finally these kids, they get to high school age, and they go to this private school where the main character goes. The main character had just lost one of her best friends during the summer to suicide, and when she shows up at school, suddenly she's staring at the face of her best friend, only it's not her best friend, it's one of these clones, a similar. And it just kind of follows the story of these clones, and there's all this secret stuff going on behind the scenes, and it's just really interesting, really well written. Highly recommend it. It definitely leaves you wanting more, and I wish book 2 was already out. The next book I read was part of my Spells and Caramel series. It was book 4, and it was Cookie Dough, Snow, and Wands Aglow by Erin Johnson. This was just like all the rest of them, super cute, super fun. You definitely learn more about Imogen and the mystery behind her biological family. They're headed for a celebration, and while they're out on the road, Horace attacks them, but not in a dangerous way. He just throws up this bush that grows. They can't get through, some magical thorny bush thing, so they can't get through. So they get sidetracked to this cute little town, and while they're there, there's a murder. Now they got to figure out this mystery. Definitely a fun read. Once again, Iggy, he's so funny, so full of life and laughter and sarcasm that he's just amazing. And one of the parties that they go to, Iggy's hanging out with another flame, a little candle girl flame, and Imogen comes up to take him away, and he makes a joke that he can't leave because now he's a daddy and there's all these little tiny flames around. And it was just so funny because she totally believed him and was shocked, and it was a really funny moment. And there's a lot of moments like that throughout the book. Really enjoyed the story. It was cute. You get to learn more about Imogen's past and see how things develop between her and Hank. And it's just really a fun little story, and I highly recommend the series. There's 8 books currently out. The 8th one just came out at the end of December. I'm on book 4, so I still have a little bit of ways to go, but I have some book club members who have read all of them already and still say they're great, but we're hoping it's getting close to wrapping up because we want to know what's going on with Imogen and her little history. Next book I read was Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe by Melissa De La Cruz. This is one that I kind of found on accident. The mail had issues, and so some of the books I had for a giveaway got delayed, so I kind of went out and went searching for something to do a quick giveaway while I was waiting for my stuff to come in, and I found this, and it was just so cute sounding that I just had to try it out. It's a twist on Pride and Prejudice, and like role reversal. So Darcy's now a girl, and it's just she, the girl's the rich, snooty one, and the boy is the more carefree. I wouldn't say carefree is the right word, but more judgmental, dislikes her. And they keep meeting under the mistletoe. And there's just a lot of changes that Darcy, this girl, goes through. She's super rich, super successful in the business world, but she's kind of realizing, is that really enough? Is there more to it than that? So definitely pick this one up for next year and read it. It was a movie. You can't see that on the camera. It was a movie. I did try watching the movie. I did not finish watching the movie. The movie was, in true Hallmark fashion, it's supposed to be corny, but this was just a little way too corny, and there were just so many different things in the book. I couldn't do it. So I don't recommend the movie. It was the book of the month for my book club. It was the Christmas Eve letter. That was our book of the month that we had voted on, just because it was a Kindle book. And it's actually free on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. It's by Elise Douglas, and this main character, the girl, she finds this lantern. She's out antique shopping at a store, and she meets this really nice old lady who's running this antique store, who's actually going to be selling the store and going out of business because nobody in her family wants to take it over. And she finds this lantern that has a letter addressed to her. It's the same name. She doesn't know if it's really for her. So she goes and she talks to her dad, who's done research on their family line, and discovers that there was this other person with her name way back in history. And so she starts researching them and finding out this heartbreaking love story happened between her and this rich guy. And for some reason she's compelled, that she just feels so terrible that their love story ended like this. And so she lights the lantern and finds out that something weird is happening, and she blows it out. She doesn't finish it, but it starts intriguing her. This love story, what happened when she lit the lantern was weird. And so eventually she goes and lights it for real and ends up traveling back in time. And she ends up trying to save the life of the girl. She goes and tries to hunt her down. She's determined to try to help this couple stay together. And in the midst, she meets this detective who's been paid to follow her and find out more about her. And instantly sparks fly, and there's something about them that they're supposed to be together, but they're in a different time period, and no one's sure how that's going to work out. So this is definitely very intriguing, very cute. Highly recommend it. Everybody who read it for the book of the month loved it. So definitely a good read to have. The next one I read is A Kiss at Christmastide by Christina McKnight. It's just a little novella, not very long. And Pippa, who's the main character, she's about to be kind of her coming out in society. She's finally old enough to be presented, to start courtships, to potentially find her husband. Because this is an older book, so back then that's what they did. And she's at a piano recital at the very beginning of the book, and she's about to go play her pianoforte, and her best friend is DJing the event. I don't know what they called it back then, but she's doing the announcements and telling people who's playing, and she makes a comment about Pippa being way too close to her teacher. And of course, in that time of age, it shocks everybody, and everyone's surprised. And so Pippa decides that she's just going to go to her cabin early for the Christmastide season and just hang out there, read books, and just be by herself until her parents come join her there and they do their normal festivities. Well, one night, it's super stormy, and this stranger, this lord, comes to her house demanding a room, and he's arrogant, he's rude, he's just not very nice, and he has a reputation of being a bit of a player. And so, of course, she can't turn him away because he has nowhere to go. His wagon wheel is broken, and she lets him stay. And during this process, while they're both stuck at the house with not that many servants around and her parents aren't there, they get to know each other and they find out a little bit more about each other, their background, and just really cute story. I loved how it was done, and definitely something that I would highly recommend. This one was Bells of St. Michael's, A Christmas Story by Brian Mooney. Can't get a very good picture of that. Sorry. There we go. So, this story is about an organ and piano tuner. This young man runs the company that his dad started, and his dad had passed away just shortly before. It hadn't been very long since his dad passed away. And the other main character, Grace, is a girl who went blind. They have no idea why. One day, her and this guy, her best friend, were out enjoying the lake, and she just went blind. They didn't know why. They couldn't figure it out. They never could fix it. And she just had to accept her life as being blind. And her dad, for some reason, he holds it against her friend, her best friend. He thinks somehow he did something or caused something, or, they went out to the lake, therefore whatever happened there caused her blindness. And so he's a reverend, but he holds this bitterness against this guy. But their church is about to be closed because they just don't have enough people coming anymore. And their organ hasn't been played in years. They've never tuned it. They have these amazing bells that everybody talks about how amazing these church bells were, that people would come from all over just to hear the bells. But they stopped playing. During the war, everybody had shut down bells. Every church had shut down the bells. And after the war, for some reason, when they went to play them, they no longer sounded good. They were sour notes, and they never could figure out why. Nobody ever looked into it. They just stopped playing and stopped trying and let them go. But now they want to save the church, and her friend comes back. Every once in a while, he comes back home to do the tuning in that area. But it had been a few years since he had been back. He hadn't been back since before his father had died. And he hasn't even talked to his best friend in years. The dad's bitter, so it makes it hard. And finally he comes back, and he meets up with Grace, and there's possible romance there, or what's going to happen with them. And there's a huge learning about themselves. Grace has kind of always let her father pick her clothes and dress her, and hasn't really learned to do things for herself. And so she wants to take an independent role and do more for herself, and her dad's struggling to let her go. Her dad's struggling with forgiveness. It's just really cute story. It has all these cute little things thrown in there. It's a perfect little Christmas time read. Highly recommend it. Pick it up next year if you don't want to read it after Christmas. Pick it up for next December. And the very last one that I was able to squish in before the new year was Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. I've read a lot of reviews on this, and there's been a lot of mixed reviews. There's been a lot of people that say this book is slow, and they struggled to get through it, but almost every single review said, once you get through the first book, the rest are amazing, totally worth it. So, maybe it's because I went into this knowing that the first book might not be stellar. But I really liked it. It's a lot of character building, a lot of story and world building, but I felt that she did a great job because I never felt bored. I was always eager to pick it up and read. I never wanted to put it down. So I really enjoyed it. And the ending, amazing. I'm not going to give spoilers away, but you're going to get to the ending and be like, oh, book 2 right now. So make sure you have book 2 ready when you start book 1, and make sure you have book 3 ready when you start book 2. And I have not finished book 3. I'm currently reading it right now, so I don't know how I'm going to feel when that ends. But book 4 does not come out until September, so I'm going to be waiting for a little bit. So I know I'm going to be a little disappointed. But so far, the series has been amazing, and I highly recommend it. 5 stars all the way. That is my December wrap-up. So thanks for listening. And let me know what you're currently reading, or maybe just let me know what you read in December too in the comments down below. I like to hear what you guys are doing too. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.